Alright everyone, something happened. I tried to record a sketchbook walkthrough video and it didn't work. Anyways, this is the Obscura journal. You can't really see, but it has the words Obscura and an eyeball written in invisible ink on the cover, which is fun. This journal was started on the 3rd of April 2023, and you can see it starts out as kind of doodly. There's a lot of studies of, plants and coming up with characters. I drew a lot of cowboys early on for some reason, early in April. This is I think I was studying John Severin's Billy the Kid, or just other comics that I saw that I was interested in. There's a horse. There's another horse. There's Lone Ranger and a horse. I love Lone Ranger. There's Lone Ranger. And some figure studies. And some more figure studies. These are all drawn from the imagination where I was trying to figure things out. And I think this is Billy the Kid from Charlton Comics as well. There's the Creeper. I had a couple of, I have 3 colored pencils. I have red, blue, and yellow. I think I had a green. Maybe I can't remember if I did that with actual green or if I just had blue and yellow to make green, but this is just goofing around. I drew a ship. I started getting into I did this kind of randomly, and then I decided I needed to learn how to draw heads, draw this female portrait, and you can see that I've got problems. The eyes are too big. I'm making it a bit too lumpy, as far as where the brow line is or the cheek line. I have so many problems with what I wrote there in corner. So I tried a bunch of different tactics to try and learn things. And this one actually came out pretty good. I quite like this one over here. But I'm still having problems. And actually, I like this one even though I know it's incorrect. Right, I know it's wrong. These are still kind of lumpy-dumpy. Her eyes are too big. This is a very early Perseus that I did. So Perseus was designed after April. Then some more comics. Still working on these female portraiture heads. I drew some engines, some rod engines, and I drew some hot rods to go with my engines. I drew this little house. I was trying to work out designs for Zephyr. Did a bunch of those. And I even did some thumbnails for, I think this is the thumbnail for page 3 of Book of Ruin. And then I have page 4, but I didn't use it, where I was going to have Zephyr land on top of Balin. Then some more vehicles. More vehicles. It's a character I didn't end up using for Book of Ruin. This is where I was trying to work out angles for Perseus's character, because he doesn't have a normal sized or a normal shaped head. So I was trying to work out expressions, angles, how to draw it from any angle. Top view, Then this is me trying to work out Balin. This is before I dropped all of these designs. I dropped the hat. This is Quixote, but I didn't use that one either. I drew a tuk-tuk. More heads. Even more heads. This is the postman from Book of Ruin, which I really like this one, the way it came out. I don't know if you can see him over there. And there's a pretty good Balin over here. There's where I decided on the hat. And this is where I did the design for Alcabets before I drew him into the comic. And there's our heroes from Book of Ruin. And then just goofing around. A house. This could have been an early version of the house for Book of Ruin, but it didn't end up being that way. This is me fooling around with my fountain pen. My Fude pen. There's a Batman that I did. This is some thumbnailed comics, which I didn't end up using. There's a computer. There's some spaceships. Spaceship silhouettes. And I think I even used this spaceship silhouette to draw this one. And then this spaceship. There's a villain, a villainess. There's some Marvel superheroes. Some Super Zeros. We've got Hulk, Doctor Strange, Captain America, and Thor. I really like this girl. I think this is a cool pose that I got. She's carrying a basket. There's a rocket ship with a record player. Thought it was kind of kitschy. This is my character, Prometheus Powers, and Doc Samson. And there's a Thor. This is goofing around with watercolors, but it's really just wet. It's just dirty ink water is what it really is, though. So it's not really watercolors. This is my character, Adam Frankenstein. I've got him here with Maria. Here, getting attacked by a guy in a tripod. I think I cribbed this off of a Hulk cover. And this is a version that I did not crib off of a Hulk cover. There he is again. Not a good pose over there. There's Prometheus Powers, Wonder Woman. Prometheus Powers and Iseult. This is a page from when I was thinking about rebooting Mystery Squadron, and I still kind of want to do it. And it'll involve them landing on a planet where they get the Displacer Beast. This is Doc Harrow from Mystery Squadron, and he's got this little egg-shaped robot. And just for fun, I was giving him this checkered, blazer, because that's what the scientist in Metal Men was always wearing, and it's kind of a Metal Men-ish kind of thing. I've got this cyber thing on him now. I think it's a cool addition, and I like the little robot. So Doc Harrow, or Harrow now. I might be drawing him like this from now on. I like the idea of having him in a sort of uniform, but it's more like a lab coat, and he has glasses. This is Loyal Hoplite from the Mystery Squadron, and I haven't done much with him, but it's one of those things. This is real quick sketches, thumbnail sketches of robots. This is an early version that launched me into thinking about doing a comic called Cinotaur, which I'm going to talk about at the end of this video. I think that's the first version I did. Another Lone Ranger, and another Lone Ranger. And then I was just drawing mecha at one point. I just kind of enjoy doing those. It's very fun to do sometimes. There's another one. And there's some space vehicles. And some futuristic vehicles of different kinds. More mecha, more vehicles. This is where I haven't figured out how to make this into a comic yet. I have an idea of a story of a wordless comic with this little chicken-like drone, mecha drone type thing. And it would start out as this little two-legged little crawler thing, and it keeps transferring its consciousness into larger and larger robots and repairing them. So it starts out as this little chicken thing, this little scout, and then it finds the head of a war robot, and it takes the head off, and it puts itself into the head of that robot, and it starts crawling around, so it gets a little bit bigger, and it gets bigger and bigger until it gets to like a full-sized war robot. And it's going to be called Rex Savior. That's some more lettering. This is with a gel pen. There's that little egg-shaped robot again. I really like the design. I'm going to use it in something. Goofing around with the gel pen some more. Drawing shapes. This is some lettering. This is Black Chancery. Don't sleep on lettering. It's worthwhile to learn if you want to learn how to draw, because it'll teach you things like balance and curves and things like that, which don't come naturally, really. And I'm not that good at it myself, so you can see. And I'm a very messy artist. There's some more drawing of lettering, different fonts. I would pick out a font and try and draw, a couple of letters in the font. I don't know if you can see what this is, but this is a thumbnail for, I think it's like page 10 or so of Book of Ruin, Go to Dorgrim's Delve. Yeah. Just an ink drawing. Alright, here's Cinotaur. This is the first Real drawing of him, that we know it's him. Scimitar Robot Hero. The original drawing was this sort of box-like head with the 2 eyes. And then the monocular version over here. I even have that little egg guy over here. But the real problem with it is I wasn't sure how to get enough expression into a character with just 1 eye or 2, kind of a box head. And the idea, and there's the wrecked ship, and so the wrecked ship is going to be an important part of the Scimitar story. And in fact, this is a thumbnail of a possible opening, which I'm not going to use, which had the lizard, and then the lizard notices something and then scampers away as the debris starts to hit, and then this big giant ship crashes. And you can see this insect woman, and this is meant to be an alphabet for a code language that I was going to use in the comic, and I still might do it, but I'm not 100% sure. More spaceships. A guy with a guitar. More spaceships. There's some pig guys. Alright, and you've already seen all this. This is my 100 heads challenge. Go back and check my other video of it. It was almost at the end. When I did this video, I still had a few pages to go, but I finished those pages now. So those are my all 100 pages. I'm gonna wait a couple of months, and I'm gonna maybe try this again. But I really did improve, so I'm hoping if I'll improve again. All right, these last few pages. And the story of Scimitar. Scimitar will be my next comic after Tarzan, and the idea is I'm going off of King Lear and Hamlet, and also I'm very influenced by like the Dark Crystal and Labyrinth, this sort of Henson, Brian Froud things. Oh wow, this looks great under the fluorescent. I forgot I'd put some fluorescent ink on her. You can't really see it on the video, but it's like glowing like fire in real life. All right, anyways, I forgot that was on. Let me turn that off. Maybe that's the problem. So the idea is this insect race. They're like a space-faring insect race, and they all report back to the matriarch. And she's the queen of the hive, and she dies, meaning there's only a few females, the egg layers, and they can't become queen unless they kill off all the other ones. So this kicks off this battle where the most ruthless of them are trying to kill everyone else, all the other queens off. And this is Princess Illuminara, who's not very ruthless. The way they try to get her is they crash land her ship and into a savage planet that doesn't have very high technology. So it's she crash lands the ship, and she's competent, but she's she's a princess. She's not meant to like be out surviving on a savage planet. So she has this thing, which is this is her valet or her butler. And so she springs the butler out of the wreckage, and Scimitar is not really suited for combat, but he is very loyal, and he's very resourceful and brave, and he's courageous. And so he becomes an unlikely hero as he helps Illuminara to survive. And so this is the idea of the story here. Also, this design, I have her in this sort of ballroom gown. I thought about it later, and I want to give her this sort of insect abdomen thing in the back, like a firefly, and maybe it's hidden under this dress, and then eventually the dress will come off, and she'll have this crazy thing in the back that comes up. She's got insect wings, and eventually they run across this barbarian from the savage planet that's going to be named Oryx, and Oryx is a thunderhorn. The name Oryx, of course, is also a species on Earth of these antelope creatures with these long curving horns, and Oryx himself is he turns out to be a good, reliable guy, and you find out the savages aren't that bad, and but there are enemies there. I think that the evil princess that's going after Illuminara is going to send an assassin eventually to that planet once they find out that she's alive. I have a bunch of ideas, so I want to do this story, and that's the next idea I'm going to come up with, and it's going to be about the courage and loyalty of Scimitar, and it's going to be about Illuminara getting over being a princess, but maybe she is the most qualified to be a leader amongst her people. Who knows? And then of course Oryx, who is going to be kind of a friendly brute type character, kind of like Ludo in Labyrinth. Right, he's a tough guy, big tough guy, but he's going to be kind of a gentle giant kind of character. So we'll see what happens. The savagery of the Savage Planet, which I was going to even name Brutalore, probably can't be denied, but we'll see what happens with it. So there we go. That's the end of my thing. It's 15 June 2023. The colors on the last few pages were done with Caran d'Ache Neo Color 2 crayons, which I've broken them out and put them in this little watercolor kit, but they're just crayons. So if you look closely, you can actually see I actually took a razor and just chopped off the end of the crayon, and they work great, even though the paper is not the best. All right, that's my Obscura sketchbook, the one I have at work. I have a new one at work now. It's just a couple of pages in. And I am still working on the other sketchbook. Oh, here it is. It's right here. This one is Fantomas 2. And so I will be showing off this one whenever it gets... I just got past the halfway mark, and I gessoed a couple of pages. This was going to be Illuminara's father, Iero. And these are some early designs for Oryx and Centaur. So, that's what's occupying my thoughts. All right, talk to you later. Please like, comment, subscribe. Everything helps. Love you. Talk to you later.